it's an emotional moment for her now, but she fought a very controlled fight.
Yeah, she did.
I thought so too.
That was one of my keys. You know, she was not supposed to let her emotions take over, and they didn't at all.
No, she was up to the moment. She was up to the best opponent she's ever fought. She fought better than she's ever fought.
Let's talk right here for a little minute before I fast forward and we can listen to the post-fight interview. Yo, amazing performance. Shout out to John David Jackson, because I noticed the change in her demeanor during the weigh-in. Remember, in the build-up, she's been very vocal. She's been out there on social media. And me, you know, covering boxing for as long as I have, and me with my reputation on YouTube, I know, you know, the cost of being outspoken. People are going to think that you're crazy. People are going to think that you're ratchet, or that, you know, that you may not, you know, be handling things in the best manner. But, you know, she had to sell the fight. And I like the fact that she's outspoken. You know, she's a fighter. Where is all this coming from? Well, no, she's got to be ladylike and all that. Yeah, you know, to a certain extent. But for crying out loud, in this day and age, in this generation, for females boxing to get off the ground and get really, really, really mainstream, we need characters. And Claressa Shields is a character. She schooled the shit out of Christina Hammer tonight. Now, first round, I gave to Christina Hammer. Christina Hammer is what you call in acting typecast. You know, European fighting style, you know, they don't go to the body. Her punch variety is limited. We knew that going into the fight. I said going into the fight that Claressa Shields is the only one who can beat Claressa Shields in this fight. If she was to go into that fight not respecting Christina Hammer and, you know, going in there with all that emotion. But she was looking like a female technician in there. You know, feeling her out, as they were saying last night, you know, on ESPN, downloading, you know, the information. And then after she figured out the jab, Christina Hammer couldn't do anything and she wanted out. She tried to spit out. She did spit out the mouthpiece twice. And that makes you think, well, going back to her past fight where, you know, she had with Anne-Sophie Mathis, where Anne-Sophie Mathis did hit her with some, you know, some glancing, some blows behind the head. But it makes you wonder, did Christina Hammer sell it? Now, let me say this. In women's boxing, you must first know that we may likely see Shields versus Hammer 2 sometime later on down the line, because the pool of high quality women's boxers is not that deep. And you may think and say to yourself, what? Christina Hammer is high quality? Well, unfortunately for boxing, you know, those women boxers, they're coming up, you know, and now they have more motivation, you know, to train and to really start taking this shit seriously, because we have 2 undisputed champions in women's boxing, and the next will likely be Katie Taylor at 135 pounds. So at 160 pounds for Claressa Shields, I have 3 names that she could fight to keep this momentum going, because she can't, you know, she's got to keep it going, but it's also up to the women if they want to fight or not, right? She's going to call out, in fact, let's take a break. And then we'll be able to listen to the post-fight interview, watch a little bit of brief highlights, and we'll be able to go from there. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live, and we'll be right back.
And this is a release right now.
Exactly.
And that is the face of somebody who's been in a tough and losing effort.
Christina Hammer proved tough herself.
We'll be right back.
Certainly never took punches like that before.
Yeah. We can look at the punch stats. As you can see, Claressa Shields landed a total of 112 punches to Christina Hammer's 49. Now, looking at the power punches, as you can see, Christina Hammer, most of her power punches were jabs, and most of them were, most of her power punches were straights and right hooks. She was very accurate at the beginning of the fight, but then after a while, you know, she just couldn't get anything done when Claressa Shields had figured her out. You know, so we're going to take one more break. You know, for you, see, I'm saying breaks. For me, for you, it's like a millisecond. For me, it's like a couple of minutes while I get everything in order.
We felt Shields had to be the aggressor in this fight, make it uncomfortable for Hammer. Well, after the first round where Shields laid back, She began to be more aggressive, but didn't necessarily feel she had to do it on the inside. She landed overhand right's a punch you need some distance to throw. And when she was on the inside, she roughed Hammer up sufficiently and didn't let Hammer clinch as much as Hammer wanted to.
Once more to Jimmy Lennon Jr. Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 rounds of action, the judges are in agreement with a unanimous decision. All three scored the bout 98-92. All three in favor of the winner, still undefeated, and now the undisputed female middleweight champion of the world, Claressa Shields.
Let's listen to the post-fight interviews. Here, listen in.
So there is your winner, Claressa Shields, and 98-92 on all the cards. That was the way we saw it too. Hard to see it any other way. The first round going to Hammer, and after that, a dominant performance that seemed to get better as the rounds went on. For now, the undisputed middleweight champion of the world, Claressa Shields. Let's go to our partner, Steve Farhood, who is with the winner. Steve.
Christina, Hammer, you had a good first round. We all gave you the first round. Then you lost control of the fight. What happened?
Yeah, I found not so good and not so fast in the fight. And that's boxing. Everything can happen. And I won this fight, and I'm fighting in this fight, and so she won, and respect to her. She's a tough, strong woman, and that's what I can say.
What did she do specifically that took you out of your game plan?
Yeah, she's fast. She comes forward. I know that, but yeah, fast hands, and yeah, that's boxing. I found not so good in the fight, and I can't land my jab so good as I expect. But yeah, that's boxing. I come back, and I'm stronger back.
You've been a long-time champion. We wish you luck.
Of course. Thank you so much.
All right, so that was
Glad to hear her being humble.
Christina Hammer, and gracious in defeat. She said she just didn't have it tonight, and I think maybe it was more that Claressa Shields took it away from her than that she didn't have it. A dominant performance for the winner, Claressa Shields. She won it 98-92 on all cards, and right now, Claressa is with Steve Farhood. Steve?
Claressa, you sure you're not going to collapse from all these belts?
I don't even know if I'm dreaming right now, man. I think I'm dreaming. I ain't even here. I don't know what this is.
Talk about your emotions, because we saw after the fight ended, you kind of let it out a little bit after such a well-controlled performance. What are your emotions right now?
I swear I feel like I'm asleep, like I'm dreaming right now. Like, well, first of all, let me just start by, I got to give all thanks to God, man. Just to be able to go into camp and train and, man, be able to put my body through so much stress just to get ready for a fight like this. Another thank you to Christina Hammer and her team. Man, yo, they said you had a hard jab. Shit, they weren't lying. Her jab was off the chain. I mean, she probably left-handed, real talk. Like, she can fight. Just thank her for coming over, and, you know, thanks Showtime for putting on such an awesome promotion, all access, and, oh, man, my team, oh, my God. Coach John, Coach K, he was not here. Shakur, my boyfriend, Coach Jose, strength and conditioning coach, Scooter. Oh my God, I put my body through so much stress for this camp. I mean, like.
Well, the stress is over now. After a relatively quiet first round, where you laid back a little bit, it seemed like you were determined to not just beat her, but outbox her. Was that the game plan?
I was calculating. First of all, I wanted to see her. I was calculating. 1, what is her jab like? 2, how fast is she? What can I do? What can I, counter off? Well, I seen her jab was a little slow. I seen her right hand was telegraphed. I was just calculating first round. And after that, I started picking her apart.
In the second half of the fight, did you have the impression that you pretty much could do anything you wanted in there?
I knew I could hurt her. It was times when I hurt her and I'm like, you know what, I don't even want to finish her yet. Hold on. I thought I finished her around 8. I thought I saw a white towel come in the ring. So that's why I was like, oh shit, we got a knockout. And I was so pumped. But I thought the fight should have been stopped. She was holding on to me when I was punching her off me. I mean, she held me excessively, you know, but I
It's
just
only
told
2-minute
myself,
rounds, too.
Stay cool, stay calm. She kept trying to look in my eyes. I don't look people in the eyes when we fight. I look at everybody's
We got to
chest.
talk about
I
her.
was just calculating. I was trying to get the perfect punch to get her out of there. I mean, I did everything I wanted to do. They said 98 to 92. Give me 100 to 90. Give me my credit, man. I beat her every round.
Claressa, we asked you a lot, and a lot of the pre-fight talk was about what this fight meant for women's boxing. Now that the fight is over, what can you say about what this fight meant for women's boxing?
Well, first of all, I'm going to say, I am the greatest woman of all time. Give me that. Give me that. Y'all told me I couldn't do it. Y'all said she was 24-0, 11 knockouts. Ain't no way Claressa Shields can beat her. She 8-0, 2 knockouts. Claressa don't get knockouts. Claressa don't hit hard. Come on. Call me the greatest one of all time, first and foremost. And secondly, women's boxing, we on fire. I cannot wait to see the next super fight. Whoever is in between. And right now, I'm the undisputed champion. I want to fight Cecilia Braekhus at 154. Give me Cecilia Braekhus, the undisputed champion. Me and her fight, that's pay-per-view. Bring it on, baby.
I was going to ask you who you want next. I didn't have to ask.
Bring it on, baby. That's who I want next. And if it's not her, give me Savannah Marshall in the UK. I'll go to the UK and beat Savannah Marshall.
Savannah Marshall, the only woman who beat Claressa as an amateur.
In history to beat me. Right before the Olympics 2012. Bring me her. She's WBA International Continental Champion. Whatever. Bring her to me. I'll kill her.
You're an undisputed champion. Absolutely outstanding, dominant performance. Thank you for a great performance, and we wish you luck in the future, Claressa.
Thank you.
Barry?
See you next.
Ooh. Now, let's talk about it, since we don't have too much time left. You got Cecilia Braekhus, 147-pound undisputed champion. The problem is, I don't think that Cecilia Braekhus wants to come to 154 pounds. And more importantly, can Claressa Shields get down to 154 safely? And if she was to attempt to, even if she gets just a sniff of a fight with Cecilia Braekhus, then she's got to make sure she maintains her weight starting now and start cutting that weight to 154 and maintain her body weight. There's too much booty in the pants. You know, she got to, slice a little bit off, give it to the needy. So I would love to see that fight happen, but does Cecilia Braekhus want to move to 154 pounds, even if it is just for a super fight? And I think that Cecilia Braekhus should do it. I think she should do it, especially if Claressa Shields is willing and she can safely get down to 154 pounds. Maybe, Cecilia Braekhus, I hate that, put it out there, but, maybe she should put in a rehydration clause, especially with the IBF. Does that, factor in over there, to make it even more even? But then again, Claressa Shields is a 168-pound fighter that missed 3 WBC weigh-ins. My concern is how safely can she get to 154? She's been talking about it, and she wants to fight. And Cecilia Braekhus, the only thing she really has left to do at 147 is fight Layla McCarter, in my opinion. There's nothing else there. Katie Taylor has said that she's not a 147-pound fighter. It's just too big. So she's cool at 135 and maybe 140. But she wants to be undisputed at 135 pounds. She's third to be undisputed, likely. Cecilia Braekhus, now Claressa Shields, first at 160. And then, Katie Taylor's likely to follow. You got Raquel Miller, but is she really, really ready right now to take that real big leap? It seems as though she's, full speed in promoting herself and building up her profile. She's fighting May the 18th. She's really, really been busy the last year. 4 fights since June of last year. Really working her way up. And then you got Marcela Cornejo, who lost a couple of fights ago to Fashawn Cruz de Zern, who debuted in the same debut. They both fought in their debuts against Claressa Shields. But this right here is a fight that Showtime can start building up now. See what Savannah Marshall's doing. Bring her over on Showtime on a, I don't know how they got to start doing it, because this fight right here makes the most sense. If it's not Cecilia Braekhus, it makes the most sense. And then if not, then then you can try Raquel Miller, and then if not, Marcela Cornejo. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. We cover every single major women's boxing fight live. I'm very interested to see the ratings, because you had hardcore boxing fans who turned their nose up and had their fingers in their asses when it came to women's boxing. I don't know what that analogy means, but they were really interested in you. I can't wait to see this shit. And it wasn't no boring fight. It was high tension. And it wasn't no slap fisting and nasty shit. You know how sometimes women boxing would be like a hug fest, even though it was clean. It was a clean feel to it. High quality shit. And shout out to Showtime for the all access episodes. Even though they were only, 9 and 12 minutes long or whatever. But still, whatever. No, wait, 12 minutes and 4. Still. Showtime did let me stop being a nitpicking hoe. They did a really, really good job promoting this fight. I'm really interested to see the ratings, even though they had goddamn Samuel Peter on the goddamn undercard. Also, I did cover the other women's fight on the undercard with Elena Gradiner versus, damn, I forgot the woman name already. Brittany Karen, Cabral, who won the 126-pound vacant IBF title. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. FightView360.com. Shout out to my colleague Donnell Haynes, who's there at the venue. We're going to have some exclusive content coming tomorrow and Monday from the event. Also, visit our merch store right down below in the description box. We do have females gear, and it's just first phase. We got a lot more coming out over the next year. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.